Hey guys, and welcome back to another update, not on my tank for this week. I'm going to switch things up a bit and do another video on my dad's tank, which has grown massively since the last update. I do these every couple of months. I'll do an update on this tank. So just to, I don't know massively on the details. You're going to have to watch his videos on his channel if you want to know the details. I know the basics. Things are doing pretty well. It's roughly a 250 litre tank running two Kessil A360Xs and two Jecod Sow-15s. So two big wave pumps on the sides there, and then there's the return pump which produces quite a few 1,000 litres an hour. In the sump there is two little wave pumps to circulate the biological. I'll show you the sump in just a second. As for livestock, corals, it's pretty much a mixed reef, bit of LPS, bit of soft coral, mainly SBS though, lots of acros up on top of this hill up here. It's got a fair share of fish in here. It's got two engineer gobies, which are these eel type things here. It's a couple wrasses, peacock wrasse, yellow chorus wrasse. This is a copperband butterfly fish. Two Oceloris clownfish, there's one there, the other one might be this side. Yep, there he is. There's also a regal tang, which is the blue one. There's an algae blenny in there, picking away at the rocks constantly. And there's a scooter blenny somewhere. Try and find him later. There's a Midas blenny in that little hole, and there's also a damsel which likes to hide away quite a lot in that hole somewhere. Don't know exactly where he is. As you can see, there is barely any algae in here. There's a couple patches of just, you know, common fuzz, I like to call, just a few little layers of hair algae. Nothing major really. There's quite a lot of clean-up crew in here. Got a small handful of snails, about four snails in here, turbo snails. There's a conch at the front here. There's a sand sifting starfish which has probably buried himself in the sand. There's a few crabs. There's an emerald crab and a couple hermit crabs as well. To move into the sump, big, very big Tunze skimmer in there. These are the two wave pumps in there. You can see it's circulating away in the biological, which is quite a lot of biological. There's also some raw phos to help with the phosphates, which are pretty high in this tank at the moment, 0.2, very, very high. A big filter sock in there, and then you've got all the solutions. Don't dose all of these, just little bits and bobs you have at the front. Doser, which is dosing quite a lot a day actually compared to mine. Actually, I'm not even dosing anything on my tank, nothing at all. All the corals are doing very, very well. The colour on all of them you can see is very, very vibrant. Especially this green Hystrix has grown massively in the past few weeks. Acros are doing decently well, not growing massively fast, but they're acros. They seem to like a 18-month maturity kind of level. This is just coming on about a year. Given it a few more months, these acros should start taking off. A couple of them are doing pretty well. Corals are still being added when they can. There's still a few other spaces for some other acros, and he wants to get a couple torch corals, which are the big euphyllias, kind of like this, but torch. This is a frog spawn. There's a hammer there as well. There's quite a few of these starfish kicking about recently. You see that little white speck at the back wall? That's a starfish there. Not totally sure the species of it, but there is a few of these starting to populate around the tank. Not a massive issue. If anything, it's a good thing. You just don't want... There's a little one in the corner there, that little white speck. They're going to help clean up the tank a tiny bit, really, but I had the same thing. I used to have loads of little starfish, but they all died because of a overdose on anti-aptasia. Killed them all. He's currently holding for me a conch snail somewhere. Haven't seen it in days. Obviously it's scooting about, probably at the back somewhere. I put it in his tank because it kept on moving the corals on the sandbed on mine. I'm waiting for those to settle in and grow and fuse to the rocks. Then I'm going to move the conch back into my tank. So currently that's in here somewhere. If you're wondering what he's feeding this copperband butterfly fish here, some of you may know they are very finicky with feeding. They can be very picky, and some don't even eat at all and end up dying. But here we have a pot of mastic, which are these little tabs, little green rings you kind of you stick onto the top of that that little feeding pipe down there, and then you'd pull it down, and then the copperband eats off that. And also mushed into it as well is spectrum pellets, which is some really healthy food that I'm feeding as well. I seem to have found that scooter blenny from earlier that I mentioned. If I zoom in, it kind of camouflages with the rock quite a bit, but there he is right in the centre of the screen. You can see that it looks quite like a mature tank. It's very clean, very tidy, barely any algae. Glass is always kept clean. You can see it's very well maintained. And I'm sure in a year's time this tank will definitely look really, really nice. Everything will be fully grown out. Be a couple more fish in here maybe. Well, fish will be a lot bigger. This regal tang, God knows how big she's going to get. She's already grown 10 times the size since we last got her, which was only a few months back. I think this summer at some point. Not long, she's grown quite a lot. If she does get eventually too big for the tank, which I think is going to be about a year's time until we get there, but might have to switch her out for a smaller one. Good luck getting her out though. These, what I like to call them eels, they are very active. This especially, I think it's this one that's always hovering around the top. This is the larger one, I think. What's the other one? And this is the smaller one actually. It's always hovering on the top, always hovering for food. Very greedy, both of them. Good fish though. So I think I'll leave it here for this small little update. You can go check out his channel, see all the details on this tank, called Nathan Willard. The link is in the description to his channel. I'll give you another update on this tank in about 2 months time, early next year. I'm uploading this video on Christmas Eve actually, Christmas Eve night. So I'll see you guys next week, maybe. Try and get one more video out for this month if I can. Obviously with Christmas and New Year's and stuff, things are quite busy. So I'll try and get done what I can. Maybe a video on my tank, not really too sure what I'm going to do yet. But something a little bit different. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys hopefully next week. Bye.